Hello everyone and good evening. Or hello stars and good evening. Welcome to Heat and... Wait a minute. There's Alberto Del Rio and he's running to the ring, but I see it looks like there's some people catching him, but I can't quite make them out. Who are they? Oh no. Well, I'll tell you what. Alberto Del Rio, he and the other assassins did the same thing to the Great Khali, the man in red. Well, it looks like payback is you-know-what. As the Great Khali, The Rock, who has had problems with Del Rio, as well as John Cena, as we all already know. Wait a minute, pinfall? Nope, not even a 1 count. So now it looks like Del Rio is getting his due. Now, Del Rio, he did beat John Cena to become the champion, but that was when John Cena challenged him one-on-one to a match. And yeah, Del Rio won the match, but he paid a heavy price for it, and now he's paying another heavy price again. And a clothesline on to Del Rio. So... again, this is a classic case of you got what you deserve, or you're getting what you deserve for all the stuff that you pulled, isn't it? Oh, and a facebuster onto Del Rio, and then a rake in the eyes right to The Rock. But then again, all of that stuff is legal in a match like this, especially when any one of Del Rio's opponents could pin him and become champion. Oh, but Del Rio, I'll give him credit. He's not fighting back, and, well, that was a little bit of an accident on the part of the Great Khali. And a takedown onto John Cena. And now an armbar onto The Rock. However, The Rock did not tap out. And the Great Khali, just like that, can just stop any momentum that you can put out. Ooh, and a Luthez press with punches onto Del Rio. And now a pinfall. 1. Nope, kick out at 1 from Del Rio. And I'm not sure what The Rock was going to do, but it was broken up before it could land. Oh, and then a big backbreaker from the Great Khali. A very unique way to do a backbreaker, but a backbreaker nonetheless. And now, wait. The Great Khali in the armbar, and if somehow Del Rio can somehow get the Great Khali to tap out, which unfortunately he does not. But if he did, then the Great Khali would have been eliminated, and then it would be down to a 2-on-1 match. A double Russian leg sweep on a Del Rio. Rock gets the pin. Nope, not even a 1 count. And, well, an accidental clothesline onto John Cena. And a nice maneuver to avoid John Cena, but then again, the numbers just catch up with Del Rio, and everything that Del Rio had been doing up to this point is catching up with him. And immediately broken up by John Cena. And uh-oh, look at this. Oh, and a couple of body blows right to Del Rio. Oh, and a back elbow, and that actually busted open Del Rio, and Del Rio is bleeding. Oh, and then a back elbow on a John Cena. Oh, but then John Cena with that hammerlock, not submission, but a counter, rather. Excuse me. Had a little bit too much to eat earlier, but I'm alright, though. And then a whip into the ropes. Nope. a double gutbuster onto Del Rio. And now Great Khali won. No, kick out by Del Rio. And now a whip into the corner. And now John Cena, what's he doing here? And John Cena, a superplex from off the top rope, although Del Rio fights back a little bit. A snapmare and then an elbow right to the back of the neck. And a float over DDT onto Del Rio. And is that enough? 1, 2. Yep, it is. I mean, Del Rio, he fought back, but the pain was just too much for him. As Del Rio just... I mean, he paid the heavy price for this one. But the winner of this match, or rather not, if you can even call it that, but the winner and the new 24/7 champion is The Rock. And I'll tell you one thing, you better be careful going up against The Rock because, well, let's just say that The Rock is the, how do I put this? When it comes to The Rock, you better know your role and shut your mouth because you better bring it. Otherwise, yeah, shut your mouth. But, yeah, now Rock has a bit of a target on his back now that he is the 24/7 champion, but he is a champion nonetheless. We'll find out if we can even get a match, an official match, underway. So, stay tuned. We'll be back in just a moment. Hello, stars, and welcome to Heat. This show is brought to you by... What? Oh, no. Don't tell me again. Really? Really? Okay. It looks like we have... Oh, no. We have The Rock, and look who's going after the championship this time. Against The Rock. As the fans are chanting for Rocky, but unfortunately, he is going up against... Well, I was going to say 2 men, but it's actually a man and a half. Though one could debate which one is the half a man. Whether it's David Otunga, the man in red, or John Laurinaitis, the man in the suit, going up against The Rock. Oh, and a knee right to the head of John Laurinaitis. And an uppercut right to John Laurinaitis. Right now The Rock is laying the smackdown on Laurinaitis, but unfortunately the odds are too much against The Rock, even though, I mean, he can probably handle himself against Laurinaitis, but against David Otunga, especially behind The Rock's back, and a back elbow onto Laurinaitis. And one right back to The Rock. And Otunga just going after The Rock. Oh, and rammed into the soda machine. Rammed back first into the soda machine, and then a cold cock onto the Rock, and then a clothesline onto The Rock. I think The Rock, you know what? Otunga was too busy posing. And then Laurinaitis gets sent into the soda machine. And then back first into the soda machine. Oh, and then another clothesline onto The Rock. And sent into the soda machine. And then back first into the soda machine. And then a back suplex onto The Rock. Oh, but The Rock is still not going down. But unfortunately, again, the odds are just too much against him. As, again, he just gets clotheslined by by Otunga. And, wait a minute. The verdict! That spine buster that David Otunga just did to The Rock, he calls that the verdict. And the winner of this match, well, actually it's not really a match, but the winner and new 24/7 champion is David Otunga, if only because he got the knockout on The Rock. So Laurinaitis and David Otunga just beat up The Rock, and Otunga is the one with the 24/7 championship. And if I know The Rock, he's going to want some revenge against Laurinaitis and Otunga, a.k.a. People Power. But, what more can you do? But up next is the main event of this show, so stay tuned, it's coming up right after this.